Hello everyone, and welcome to MechaBellum, the game that has me and half of the German YouTube scene in its grip, as this is basically my favorite StarCraft mod, Desert Strike, made into its own video game. It is Auto Battler done correct, and in an RTS kind of style more than in the MOBA kind of style, as you know with TFT. And it is currently free to play, as this is the test version, which you can find on Steam. And it already has a lot of content. As you can see, you have single player, where you can find community challenges, you can test things out, you can play survival, and against bots. You have unit modifications, where you can set up your 16 different units that currently are in the game to make them even more unique and specialized to your playstyle. There are tournaments, which we soon will participate in as well. And then there's obviously multiplayer, where you currently have 1v1 and 2v2. And you can also use auto match, and that's what we're gonna do now. And I will describe the game to you whilst we are getting into a game. So the matchmaker works really fast, and as you can see, I already played this game quite a bit lately. I only started but it has me really playing. It is a just one more round kind of game. Rounds take you between 10 and 20 minutes, which is the perfect length. And yeah, 1v1 is just always my favorite game mode. Since StarCraft 2, obviously with my name, you can see where I'm coming from there. And this game obviously has similar looks with all the mech style and so on. Through the Terrans and the Protoss a bit there. And yeah, here we go. And at the beginning of each round, you choose your commander and your 2 starting units. And they all have different boni. And just like in other auto battlers, you have a hit point, which gets reduced based on what the enemy does. And we start with a simple commander here. This one just says we get 50 more points each round. And then we start into the first round, where we then have this battlefield. The enemy will be on the other side. Their commander allows them to start with an extra level 3 sniper from the get-go, which obviously means that they at the beginning will be a bit more powerful because our impact will come over time. Theirs is immediately. So we're most likely gonna lose the first couple of rounds, but I'm somewhat fine with it. We just have to worry about the other abilities that they have there. And those are actually quite annoying, as they have a lot of small targets, and our snipers are good against single targets. Our tanks are okay against everything, but also not great against anything. And we want something that is somewhat anti-small and doesn't immediately get sniped by the sniper. And for that, we're gonna get another unit. This time, we're gonna go for the Mustang. And yeah, we're gonna build some Mustangs, which are some anti-light units. Units that you place at the beginning will stay there for the future rounds, so you have to really start thinking with your first deployment already. And we're actually gonna place the Mustangs slightly behind our units here. Mustangs should be pretty good against these small guys. The steel bolts will be a problem, and we have to find an idea against that. Maybe we should go in the future onto crawlers as well, but I like the idea of Mustangs here at the start. So let's see how it goes. We end our deployment. Enemy has their deployment as well. They used an ability here, which is a one-time usage ability, which allows them to win this round harder, and which then will allow them to deal more damage, but it costs them 50 money, which they will not get back. And that obviously is kind of how the economy works. And we currently deal okay damage on the front line, but they, as you can see, rushed through on the right side because they destroyed us with that rocket. And these 2 buildings here, if they get destroyed, you get a massive debuff. So it's kind of like chess, but instead of getting less and less pieces, you get more and more pieces. And it all happens at the same time, which is really interesting. And between rounds, you always get new perks, which the enemy does get as well. And so they exactly get the same, so you can predict what they will get. Here, for example, we could use an ability, which then allows us to get call a Rhino in all 3 rounds, which is a special unit that then we can even drop in the enemy field. And we're gonna use this one though, as this one allows us to place more flankers, and flankers are actually quite nice units. And then we will go for some of these crawlers as well, together with some more Mustangs. Okay. We're gonna let the crawler start in the middle. Yes. No, actually, we're gonna let the crawler start in front of our siege tank, of our tanks here. And then we can use upgrades. First of all, in our research center, where we can buff attack and defense and later unlock nukes, and on each unit. As each unit has 4 different upgrades, and those upgrades then are unlocked for all units of that type. And with that way, it balances between you getting more unit types to counter the enemy, or you are specializing your individual units to get better than the enemy. Also, the enemy, as they wander around, and as these units here killed a couple of hours, now leveled up their crawlers, so their crawlers will be stronger now, which will be annoying. And yeah, timer's over, next round starts. Enemy went for some rocket launchers behind all of their stuff, which is going to be interesting. As our snipers do somewhat fine. We will need more crawlers, but we're winning on the right side. Relatively hard, actually, but we're losing on the left side relatively hard at the meantime. And their level 3 sniper is still a big advantage. As I said, like, that unit is basically worth around 250 points. Or, no, 200 points. And it's only round 2, and we only gained 100 extra points from our ability. But if it goes beyond round 4, obviously our ability starts to become a bit more impactful than theirs. And we get a bit more flexibility out of our ability as well. And now we're gonna take this ability, which allows us to make one of our units really, really strong. And that unit is going to be this Mustang group, so that they shoot harder and that they have more hit points. And then we're gonna start with more Mustangs on the left side as well. And we're gonna go with some more crawlers. And then in the future we might want to use more snipers, but for now we want an ability. And that ability is going to be just basic damage on our Mustangs. And then we have 200 money open. And we're gonna use that for upgrading all of our units with 10% more hit points and 10% more attack. Then we're gonna see how this goes. So, the enemy got themselves an ability here. And that might win them the round hard. And the enemy, in general, seems to be somewhat focused on rushing us here, as they used a couple of abilities that are one-time usage. This one here is not quite one-time usage, but it will have a long cooldown. And we still might win this round, though, as their frontline is crumbling a bit too fast now, every single time, for their backline units to pay off, I believe, at least. We still might get shut down here. It is really close, as our focus now is a bit too far into the center, maybe. These tanks are dropping pretty low. Oh no. Okay, we're sniping these. We destroyed the buildings, so their units deal a bit less damage now. And the rocket launcher also is not really great at shooting into the move. It's better against units that are stuck in combat, but our units are not the fastest. So they're actually struggling to get in range, so the enemy still might win this round. Yes, they do. But they're dealing really little damage, as damage depends on how many units survive, and I feel like we currently have the better late game setup. Their steel bolts get stronger each second they shoot on our units. So against small targets they're pretty bad, that's why we set the small guys. Sniper's also bad against small guys. And yeah, we want more of our own snipers here now, I believe. As we first have to choose an ability. Enemy actually not great against air. We could try an air transition soon. We're not quite gonna try it this turn. We're gonna try it next turn. This turn, we're gonna go with some sniper upgrades. Oh no, with some... We already got Mustang upgrades. So we might want to use some more Mustangs. And what we also gonna try is some Mustangs from the flank. As we got an upgrade that allows us... you can put enemy units behind the enemy. And if they spawn there, they can obviously focus down the enemy quickly. The issue is, once you buy them, in the first round, you buy them, they take a while to actually come onto the battlefield. But after a while, they obviously start to come in here and attack. And after the first round, they will always spawn instantly. The delay is there so that the enemy has more time to react. But we have an upgrade that we picked that happens 50% faster, so that they actually come in quite quickly. Oh, enemy did something to defend their flank now though, with some siege tanks. But that is another unit that is not great. We might die this turn though, if we don't kill enough units. So we need to kill enough units, as they have another call-in ability, which we just can't seem to kill, which is really, really, really bad. Please kill this. One more shot. No! And all our units are dead, and we will take a hell of a lot of damage, as this deals us 400 damage. We are not quite dead, but pretty close. But comeback is possible, and I'm gonna try to show you one now. Let's see if it works out. So we're gonna switch into air now. And we're gonna use 2 of these bad boys to try to deal as much damage to the enemy as possible. We're gonna give them an upgrade immediately. And then we're gonna use one of these guys here. The crawlers will be nice. And these guys are really, really big and really, really powerful. And that is pretty bad for our enemy, especially as they use these rockets, which don't do much against them. And the enemy only has these 2 snipers as anti-air. So they currently don't have the tools to really deal with us efficiently here, which is absolutely fantastic for us. And that might be our comeback. I picked a upgrade that allows our air units to have 10% more range. And really, this is the complexity of this game. Like, sometimes you have to give up hit points, knowing that your comeback will come later. But obviously it was close. Like, we can't allow any weakness now. But as you can see, as a lot of our units this time survived, we deal an insane amount of damage to the enemy. And now we're gonna use this ability to snipe one of the enemy snipers from the get-go. And then we're gonna get 2 more of these guys towards the center of our formation. And then we have a good couple of upgrades that we can use on our other units. As we can upgrade one of our tanks. And then there's an ability here that allows us to get 200 points now, but we've paid 300 points for it next turn. So it's basically deficit in the long run, but as this game might not go this much longer, as if all our 4 big guys survive, we win this round. Right here, right now. They win. They now got we win. They now got a big boy that is anti-large, as this one is basically the big form of this, and anti-air. Has a beam that gets stronger and stronger the longer it shoots. And they also now gonna use a missile against us here. So this is going to be interesting, but I still believe we will win this turn. And we now got an ability that allows our airplanes to repair themselves non-stop. And we have these small flyers now coming out, which will eat the focus of that big guy for now. Oh no, this is not good. Okay, yeah, it will eat the focus for now. That is fantastic. Okay, one of our big guys will get focused, but we are killing the rest. And we're gonna beat them up here quite badly. So, yeah, really great game on the flank here. And really, really nice comeback. And this is why I love this game. Like, scenarios like these are why I love this game. You just have to think in the long run, in the long term, what the enemy does, what you can do about it. Enemy still has a chance here now, as the game is not quite over, which is relatively bad for us. Because now they had time to react to our switch, which I planned out for a while. And that is for sure not what we wanted. Giving them So, and none of these abilities is good for us. The smoke bomb, not really what we, well, smoke bomb is still the best because we can disable a good couple of their snipers and their rocket launchers. So we're gonna do that. And then we're gonna have bring some small guys, I guess. No, actually not really. We can buy 2 more of the big guys, potentially. As I don't quite think they can get enough units of a small level. And we can still upgrade this crawler then. Okay. They have one big ability that they can use for call-in, which they for sure will do. Like, not using that would be really bad. And they could use an atomic bomb potentially this turn, but they don't. Okay, the ability comes in back here. That is bad. I hoped they would use it in the center. They didn't. And that means that they will destroy this building really quickly, which will then enable them to hit our other units harder, because as you can see, everything here is just weakened now. And that might cost us our big ships. It will be a tough battle. The malice is now gone. And we still hit them pretty hard here. We still have a lot of flyers, and their big guys don't quite have the upgrades. These melting pots could have an ability where they regain hit points with every damage they deal, and that can snowball insanely strong. But luckily they don't have that, and with that we deal enough damage. We still have 4 big guys remaining, plus a couple of small guys. And with that, we finish the game, and we beat the enemy. And yeah, this is MechaBellum, a game that I will stream it quite a bit now currently on my Twitch. And I also will join a couple of tournaments for sure. And if you're interested in more, let me know down below. If you're already addicted to the game as well, let me know down below as well. This game is just so freaking good. It's pretty simple, and yet so deep. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the content, and hope to see you next time. Bye bye, and have a great day.